Well, it looks like it may actually be happening as TikTok itself is now begging their own users to call Congress. Libs of TikTok is going on the offensive, asking its users to call members of the ENC committee to stop a TikTok shutdown. Very, very interesting. Now, I believe, it is my personal belief, and I understand this may be a bit of a an old guy take. I don't know. It's my opinion that TikTok is destroying Western society. I also think that the algorithm is specifically set to do so. Too many of these weirdo, who many people call groomers, are getting famous on TikTok. You look at TikTok, what's on the homepage in China, it's like engineering and math videos. In our country, in the West, in the United States and other places in the West, it's degeneracy. So I don't have any problem with the TikTok ban, especially when I'm pretty certain that, we've already seen several cases of sending data back to China that they were supposed to not be doing. So before we get into, this may be a viable option. There's probably many people very concerned. So I've got an option for them, and that's Sheath. Check it out. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Sheath. I've been working with Sheath for a very, very long time, and I absolutely love their products. And great news, they are now the official underwear brand of the UFC. They have new styles available with cool new designs, as well as winter gear, including base layers for skiing, snowboarding, and gator necks. Ultimately, Sheath are the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of boxers that are too loose or briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. I'm wearing a pair of Sheath underwear right now as I speak, and I want you to give it a try too. I know it's a little weird to think about, especially for the fellas anyway, about giving it a change, but I assure you, you are going to love what Sheath has to offer. Their stretchy fabric is made out of moisture wicking technology. They're super soft, keep everything cool, comfortable, and in the right place. Sheath is particularly useful for staying cool during the summer and while working out. The unique thing about Sheath is that they have these dual pouches to, well, keep your man parts all separated and cool. And if that's too wild for you, well, you don't have to use them either, and you can just wear them as a regular pair of boxer briefs. They'll be the most comfortable pair of boxer briefs you've ever worn in your life. Plus, they have brand new materials like bamboo and mesh for even more cooling comfort. Go to sheathunderwear.com and get the most comfortable pair of underwear you'll ever own. Use promo code TheQuartering20 and you'll also get 20% off your order. That's sheath.com, promo code TheQuartering20 for 20% off your order. Give them a try. You'll thank me. You see, stop TikTok ban. They're sending this. Congress is planning a total ban of TikTok. Speak up now before your government strips 170 million Americans of their constitutional right to free expression. This will damage millions of businesses. And then it literally has a prompt where you can call your various representatives and like just call them and like inundate them with phone calls. You can see it's not just ENC members. Our office has received dozens of calls from constituents who say the app is promoting them to call their reps. This is, quite frankly, I don't think this is a great look for an app that many people view as, potentially dangerous and controlling Americans or people in the West. Now they're using the app to, to tell Americans to get involved politically. I mean, it doesn't take a conspiracy theorist. It doesn't take a full-blown tinfoil hat to see how communist China can simply use TikTok to sway voters, right? For today, it's begging them to stay involved, for them to stay in this country. Tomorrow it might be like, hey, we need you to go vote for this bill, for that bill. And it's going to be extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Hey, how about a couple of free internet updates if you go vote for this bill that is very bad for Papa China. I mean, you could see new Speaker Johnson, STMT, backing the bipartisan TikTok bill. Quote, I support the bill being marked up by the Energy and Commerce Committee. It's an important bipartisan measure to take on China, our largest geopolitical foe, which is actively undermining our economy and security. This via NPR. President Biden would ban TikTok, but candidate Biden is using it for his campaign. The White House has now thrown its support behind a bill in Congress that would effectively ban TikTok, the social media app that is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance in the United States. By the way, hey, let's just do a little straw poll if you're this far in the video. If you would like a all-time ban of TikTok in wherever you live, leave a like on this video now. The bipartisan legislation will require ByteDance to sell the app because of national security concerns about the way it uses and stores data or face a ban. Now, here's the thing. We remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there were several instances where China said, oh, forgive us, please. We don't have any access to the American data, all the American psychographic, demographic, usage data, cell phone data. We don't have any access to that. And then it turns out, of course, they have access, and they've always had access, as several of their engineers admitted, right? The bill is important. We welcome this step, the White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre Black Annie said. The White House has long expressed concern about the national security risks of TikTok. In 2022, Biden signed a bill that banned the app on government phones. But that risk hasn't stopped President Biden's own re-election campaign from joining the platform. Nearly a month ago, Biden HQ joined TikTok as part of an effort to reach younger voters who have been less enthusiastic about voting for Biden this November. Gee, I wonder why. Who could possibly foresee why people just might not be super pumped? Who could possibly foresee that? Jean-Pierre said the White House doesn't see the bill as a ban on TikTok, but rather ensuring its ownership isn't in the hands of those who may do us harm. This is about national security, obviously, Jean-Pierre said. We would want to see the bill get done so it can get to the president's desk. I mean, this is actually a really big deal. This is a pretty spicy deal. A ban on TikTok would likely be met with legal challenges from the app, which previously sued the Trump administration in 2020 after the former president signed an executive order that tried to ban the app. The attempted ban was blocked by a federal judge. ByteDance did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Wednesday. TikTok, though, believes the goal of the bill is for the app to be banned. The bill is an outright ban of TikTok, no matter how much the authors try to disguise it. Alex Hauerk, TikTok spokesperson, said the legislation will trample the First Amendment rights of 170 million Americans. Isn't it sick? Don't you find it a little bizarre how they would use the First Amendment to try and shield themselves? A TikTok ban is not an infringement on your First Amendment rights. It is by no way, shape, or form related to anything in the First Amendment. I don't even understand how you would make that argument. You might say, oh, well, TikTok today, Rumble tomorrow. Well, the big difference is, quite frankly, is that TikTok was caught red-handed sending data with the ability to send data of Americans, their demographic, their psychographic, their phone usage, all this stuff, their location. They can send all that right back to the CCP. They said they couldn't. They said they didn't, but they did. So I think it is extremely different. I think that is the reason they're getting banned. They're not getting banned because they think the app is bad. They're getting banned because it's a free flow of information from U.S. citizens to the Chinese government. The idea that an app, that TikTok being banned, is a First Amendment issue is baffling to me. It will deprive 5 million small businesses of a platform they rely on to grow and create jobs. That's unfortunate. But do you know why, whose fault that is? Do you know whose fault that is? TikTok. TikTok couldn't help themselves. TikTok was the one that said that they would separate themselves off into ByteDance. They were caught multiple times with the ability and the testimony of people that worked there that there was a free flow of information from the United States directly into China. This is unbelievably a non-First Amendment issue. The White House itself does not use TikTok, though it does work with influencers on the app. Well, of course. Of course. But new push in Congress to ban TikTok or force Chinese divestiture, which is really what's going to happen. Okay, let's be honest. They're not going to delete TikTok. It makes too much money. If there was legislation that got put in place where they actually had to, shut it down, you don't think Amazon would buy it? You don't think Google would buy it? You don't think Apple would buy it? You don't think, there will be some insane company that makes so much money. Of course, somebody would buy it. Now, of course, again, it won't be likely banned. They're trying to say it will be banned, but really what they're trying to do is get a divestiture. TikTok could live on and people could do whatever they wanted, provided there is a separation. Gallagher told reporters Wednesday, urging U.S. ByteDance investors to support a sale. It's not a ban. Think of it as surgery designed to remove the tumor and thereby save the patient in the process. Of course, the tumor is China in this case. The bill will give ByteDance 165 days to divest TikTok. If it is not, app stores operated by Apple, Google, and others could not legally offer TikTok or provide web hosting services to ByteDance-controlled applications. The bill is an outright ban of TikTok, no matter how they put it. Again, it really isn't. It really isn't. It's just, the Chinese government does not have rights here, even though it owns half the country. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's really, really interesting to see if they actually divest or not. I think the world would be a better place without TikTok, but I'm also not so stupid as to think there isn't going to be a new app that comes out. But it's a good start.